Okay, let's record all of the logs of the creatures and the treasure. Crumbuck, Panchos, Carpone, family breadbug. Its only move is to walk straight towards you without stopping. Is that so it can eat us, or so we can eat it? Coupler, Scarpinet's family, Viridilucus princeps. It carries Pikmin and high energy objects away somewhere. Back to its nest, I assume. Maybe if I keep observing his behavior, I can begin to understand why my wife has a hard time showing anything away. But it's a little more dark. The Muckiwi, or the Pseudoactinidea perniciosa, the Muckiwi family. Its large beak is a holdover from when its kind could fly, but the wings are totally vestigial now. It spends all its time either eating or sleeping. Reminds me of a certain pooch back on Hocketits. In Bulby. The Spornet, or the Melisens monovaninum, the Fuzzbuzz family. Not many bees prefer isolation, but this one does. It wards off intruders by dropping toxic puffballs on them. I admire its independent spirits, but there must be an easier way to live. The Crested Muckiwi, or the Pseudoactinidea palmatus Muckiwi family. It's similar to a regular Muckiwi in many ways. Can't see any purpose for the crest beyond a distinctive look. Then again, nobody knows what the company president's hair is for either. Maybe that's why he has less and less of it every year. The Sparrow Hat, the Huntingpeck family. Of Spurgitus upium. They have a pesky habit of appearing suddenly out of the sky to attack. They're cute up close though, aren't they? Yes, as Dolphin too didn't have such an aversion to bugs, I'd want to take it home and with me. The male cherub of the Hemagaea mandibulosa maniblood family. This airborne creature gave up its wings and legs to live in the dirt. Only comes out to defend its territory. It still can figure out if it's shy or if it's desperately seeking attention. Puffstalk. Aspergilla rubidronis, spore of its family. A mysterious creature that likes to pop out of its nest and then go right back in. It's bent on collecting energy-rich objects. But then, so am I, Shooting Spiner. Female. Hemagaea metitsia, Arachnid's family. I was startled to learn that all members of this species are born male, but some metamorphose into females as they grow older. On second thought, it's a little embarrassing I was so surprised. The universe is a big place with all kinds of possibilities I never considered. Who am I to say this one or that one is weird? Exactly. The Pokemon or the Neolingus piscitum of the Alops family. As long as you don't approach these creatures who travel in packs, they are no real threat. Their big eyes suggest they have excellent vision, while their puckered lips indicate that they're good kissers. Olimar, what the frick are you writing? The Eye Stalker Bullbeal, or the Oculus Voroxa, Grubdog family. Apparently the Grubdog family includes this aquatic relative, which will try to eat anything that draws near. I wonder how many times that's backfired on it. How many acorns that happen to fall near his mouth that it swallows. Large Splurchin. The Spicasphyra naturans, family Splurchin. Yes, it's Dolphin too says that this mindless floating creature is delicious on the inside. It hasn't told me how to get past the spikes yet to try it. Yeah. Shearbuk. Oh, this is a normal Shearbuk. Rotundus Hemigaea, family Mandiblort. What an odd creature. It lives on both land and water. It seems puffy, but shows spikes when threats approach. I find myself curling up when scolded as well, but alas, I have no spikes to present. What can I say? I'm a pacifist. The wide-mouthed anode beetle. Scarabum electrodea grandiostium, family of the Scarabeetle. This pesky creature loves to generate its own electricity, prefers solitude, and becomes aggressive if provoked. It really couldn't be more different from me, could it? Part of me wishes I could assert myself as strongly as this terrifying monster does. Exactly. The young yellow woolly hop, with the Amphicarus frodendum. Amphichewer family. This would seem to be the intermediate stage between a woolpool and a yellow woolly hop. I asked my daughter if she wants to be a pilot like me when she grows up, and she said, "Nah, I want to be a boss like mommy." Which is fair. Crystalline Crushblatt. The Cephalus celestiata. Crushblatt family. I think we'll be able to see the inside of it. No. It's aggressive while engaged in its crystal shell, but runs away quickly and the shell should be broken. The behavior seems familiar. I think I know someone on Hawkeye whose personality changes depending on what they're wearing. His wife? Louis? Speargrub. Dentifaber Himiagea. Family of the Mandiblords. Leaves its dwelling hole only to enter other holes. Maybe it wants a breath of fresh air or some sunlight. Or maybe it's looking for a friend. Doesn't do anything else. The cramped rate. The Tomidoculum domesticunculus. Concurious. Shelter family. This ninja's creature protects its soft innards with a hard shell. All the best food is crunchy on the outside and chewy on the inside. Does that mean this creature's delicious? If only Louis were here. This is a rate, as it says, so all rates of the shelter family of only him. Seedbagger, Saccosporum pelugida, Seedbag family. These timid creatures are more afraid of you than you are of them. If you can defeat one, it will send seeds spraying everywhere. It's quite a send-off. Scutterchuck, the Crystallosum securilis of the evil family. Its main offensive maneuver is to throw the crystal on its back. Without a crystal, it is defenseless. I've hypothesized that the males carry rocks and the females carry crystals, but I don't have any evidence to back that theory up. But then they carry the Crushblatt stuff. Rabbits. Rhodoloimus solito, family of the Jelliper. The wings on its backs are decorative. It can't actually fly. Its powerful legs gives its jumps from hang time though. My jumps, meanwhile, are not worth mentioning, but a jetpack on my back does let me fly over short distances. I wonder if it's jealous of me for that. Fireflanger Groink, the Magmasteps Infernalis. A goldfish that can shoot fire. This creature has undergone extreme evolution to the point that it's now half mechanical. It shows no mercy to any target in sight. Can we really call this a creature, or is this more of a weapon? It's basically to see that this is the direction evolution is heading. I'd always hope to become gentler. Not more vicious. Leatherchuck. Platypus ascendi. Evil family. It sleeps flat, blending in with the ground, and will only move if something walks across its back. As its stimulus, it leaps high into the air. It's difficult to say who's to blame when this happens. The Leatherchuck itself or the one who stepped on it. Shooting Spiner, a male. Imigrea Metetsia, Recnet family. Usually it's content to dangle from the ceiling, but if you approach, it will fire poison clouds at you. This one looks much more drab than its female counterpart. I can relate. Spore Grub. Imigrea Vinea Corio. Mandiblord family. A mutant variety of sharegrub that lives in certain grasses. It guards its territory with bursts of toxic gas. I've noticed similar behavior in my dog back home, but it takes much less to set Bulby off. Rat Bublimp. Veloruber ephemerans. Bublimp family. These newborns are so fragile that one touch will kill them. They grow by absorbing water on the ceilings. They are sturdy as a raindrop, and every bit as dangerous. Starknuckle. This one's weird. I can see the back of him. Shellusk family. The Tripodidae asterius. This mollusk-like creature's arms are long like an octopus's, but tough like a starfish's. They were drawn and struck. Oh, The SS Dolphin 2 says it gets anxious at the sight of it, but I know better. Those thin and gossamer arms are a real delicacy when properly prepared. Oh, Omar, are you turning into Louis? Elongated crush plant? Wait, this is a crush plant? It's a Makiwi. Pseudoactinidea polymacaries. Family of the Makiwi. Despite the name, it's a closer relation to the Makiwi. It's docile in nature and does not attack deliberately. I guess that its long legs evolved to grant it access to food in hard-to-reach places. Is the abundance of convenient food the reason my own species has such short, stubby legs? Yeah. Exactly. Electric spectrolite. Fenestare luminescens. Family of the floater bee. Floater bee, same thing I guess. It prefers to live in dark caves, which is odd since it generates its own light. Beware of its electric tackles. If only it could be tamed, it would go over well as a house pet. Imagine having a faithful companion that could also light your home, and that could also burn it down to ground. Spiny coupler. Purpurellacus spicaria. Scarpinid family. There seems to be a subspecies of the coupler that's grown spikes all over its carapace. It's well armored, but ironically can no longer carry seeds. Let that be a lesson that greed never gets you far in life. It does. Flying spotted jellyfloat, the Cephalus aerialis. Family of a jellyfloat. Most of the time it floats peacefully in midair, but it will not hesitate to squash any threats. My wife has a similar mama bear quality to her. Yellow woolly hop. Amphicarus frodonum. Amphitrue family. You don't disturb this creature, it will leave you alone as well. Once bothered, it uses its powerful jumps to attack. I can sympathize. I've known people in my own life who lash out whenever anybody tries to wake them up. Fireflap bulborb. Lancers vulcanus volanti. Lancers from bulborb, vulcanus from fire, volanti from wings or flying. Breadbug family. This involved fiery dwarf bullblacks has taken flight, it seems. It rains down flaming chunks of desiccated skin. An attack is effective as it is disgusting. Though given the nature of its projectiles, perhaps it doesn't mean to attack at all. Fiery blowlet, Sus draconus infanta. Bluehawk family. Some emit long jets of flame, while others discharge volleys of fireballs, like mile runners versus sprinters. Fiery dwarf bullblacks. Oh, this is a dwarf? The Oculus Vulcanus parvusi. This creature's back is perpetually burning, so it leaves a trail of fire wherever it goes. I wonder how those bulging eyes keep from getting cooked sunny side up. Now that's a matter worth researching. And how is it a breadbug? Electropede, scarab beetle, Campia fulgurthania. It creeps along walls and ceilings in the dark, generating the electricity it uses to zap away trance. I could get a bunch of these and harness them for a power plant. I'd be richer than a company president to do it. Fire snout beetle, Granignus ictum. Lithopods. It emerges from its burrow to spot fire. Why does it do this? Some things evidently need no reason. Fiery young yellow woolly hop, Vulcanus amphicarus frodonum, because it's a fiery boy. Amphitrue family. Somehow this type of yellow woolly hop evolved to survive being on fire. It's a useful mutation to be sure, but getting there must have been painful. Yeah. Clicking slurker, the Ululans descendi, the Umbloda family. The warm air trapped within its body keeps it floating. From the air, it drops its long tongue to catch its prey. On a totally unrelated note, why the feather on its hands? Is this for attracting a mate or something? Stuffed bellbloom, Logumos Tropophodus, Panota family. Its body is stuffed with seeds to keep it through to the winter. It might drop a few if you hit it, or it might drop something stuffed with energy. Buffy Blubbook, Phoscophlexilis mollia, Blother family. The snow makes this creature's habitat so cold that its normal layer of fat wasn't enough, hence the need for its coat of fine hair. It's too big for me to get my arms around, but it looks so warm that I wish there was some way to hug it. Blubbook. The Phosphorexilus bilia, Blother family. Not only is it its thick rubbery layer of fat insulated from the ice and snow, it wards off any attack. The only way to get at it is to attack its inner core. It has that in common with certain people I know. It's just impossible to get through them past their thick insulating layer of self-regard. Centipede. Chilopoda sakurani. Centipede family. It craves attention and control, as children do. Its back is tough enough to hold some weight without panicking. I envy it as far as that goes. The last time I tried to give my son a ride, I threw my back out. Oh. Stony flint beetle. Lithelytra sisyphons. Flint beetle family. Its carapace is as hard as steel. It often uses its strong hind leg to push rocks, though it's not clear why. Is it hoarding them for some purpose? Watching it reminds me that sometimes in life it's as important to pull as it is to push. I wish I could put that in beetle terms for this guy. The adult centipede, Prunus cerulatapoda, family of the centifly. The SS Dolphin 2 says the matured ones travel far from home to find their mates. Love that asks so much effort is the most romantic in my opinion. The Morganfly, Dracosaccosporum, scorpionet family. I notice it hates to let go of the seeds it collects. It must have more mouths to feed back at its nest. Oh no, I just thought about my own children and made myself so sad for these poor creatures. Swooping snitch. Oh, he's back. Swooping snitchbug. Scarponica casperans, scorpionet family. Their atrophied wings force them to spend most of their time on land, but they do fly on occasion to steal Pikmin. Use their thingies. Oh, warp. Oculus Kakayami Russus, family grouped up. Yes, this Dolphin 2 said it sleeps during the day, but the one I met was awake. I pointed this out and the ship said, I meant during the day on Hakatuj. After defeating it, he found an object which is sparkling. It's possible that the creature considers such objects as a delicacy. The long water dumple, or the Ichthyosophalongus, family of the grub dog. Pikmin seemed to bounce right off the thick hairs in its hats, leaving them vulnerable to being swallowed up. It's the terror of the seas. The two glowing orbs on stalks function like eyes. According to the SS Dolphin 2, they are delicious when roasted, but I don't have the stomach to try. How does it know? The Armork. Scolobita rotunda creep crab family. Its jelly-like legs let it scale walls and ceilings, letting it attack intruders from any angle. No frontal attack can get past the armor protecting its head. But all is not lost. Notice how its rear and underbelly are pink, raw, and totally uncovered? Even a process of evolution can make mistakes. The electric cotonate, Lanugo electropalaeae, cotonate family. A rare creature that attacks together with its family. The children build up electricity around the parents and use it to stun their prey. The parent then sucks up the stunned prey through its straw-like mouth. It's an amazing display of teamwork. Like seeing my wife and daughter at work haggling with a shopkeeper. The Queen Sharowick. The Turbulence Hemigia and the Blart family. So, other creatures beside Pikmin will act as a unit. I can clearly see the Queen giving orders and the soldiers coordinating their attacks. But the bond between me and my winged Pikmin won out in the end. Teamwork is at its best when each member of the team has a deep understanding with the others. The Fiery Blowhawk, Sus Draconis, Blowhawk family. It shares a flame-throwing trait with the Fiery Blowlets, but the vast difference in its size comes with an equal variance in its firepower. The method by which they produce this flame is very interesting and took a lot of analysis between me and the SS Dolphin 2 to figure out. Sadly, I'm out of space to explain it here. Maybe I'll publish the paper back on Hocketed. The Luring Slurker. Ambloda family. This living creature makes its home in humid climates. It attacks by lashing its sticky tongue at its prey from its gelatinous body. Once it sticks, the tongue can drain the heat from a target. It's this property of its tongue that lets it turn the lake water into ice to drop as an attack. All this talk of tongues and ice, I'm getting thirsty. Emperor Bullblax, Oculus Supremus, Grubdog family. He usually hides in the ground but will pop out to strike at his prey. Anything that falls into his mouth gets swallowed, even bombs. His mouth is so big, in fact, that I was worried it could swallow the SS Dolphin 2 whole. It's a good thing we didn't crash that Chrysler Neighbor's monstrosity, exactly. The Leech Hydro, the Hydrodea Phytohabitans Hydro family. Strictly speaking, this creature is only the part that takes over a plant to drain its nutrients. Its host must then wander around to find more food. What a shock to see this harmless-looking thing emerge from that other terrible beast. The only time I was more surprised than this voyage was during my reunion with the Pikmin. The Berserk Leech Hydro. Normally, this is a harmless species of plant life. We only found out later that it grew vicious because the Sparklium converter fell from the ship during our crash landing, falling onto the Leech Hydro as it slumbered. The influx of energy sent its parasitic urges out of control. I know I'm to blame ultimately, but I'm glad I could put a stop to it. With the help of the Pikmin and the SS Dolphin 2, let this final entry end with my thanks to them. No. Alright, next is all the treasure, and that's a whole lot more. 20 minutes for the creatures, that's something good, so let me just check how much there is. Still fine. Alright, I'm gonna start with the beginning, because I've omitted the first part that I did. Alright. The Loop of Beginnings. This was the first object I found after crash landing here. The Pikmin knew to pick it up immediately. Are they drawn to the sparkling it contains, or do they just like picking things up? Who knows? The Pikmin that have been helping me are such trusted allies that I think I'll start cataloging them, as well as the objects and indigenous creatures I find. I hope my notes are useful someday. The Hypnopendulum. There are Pikmin here! Not only that, they're helping me collect Sparklium! Yes, this Dolphin 2 says I can control their minds with this if they yacked up, but I don't see that happening. Song Sewer. The tunnels in this device convert air currents into musical vibrations. Isn't that the dullest description of an instrument you've ever heard? Blame the SS Dolphin 2. I'd rather call it a sculptor of winds. The Blues Eradicator. The SS Dolphin 2 observes that something in the makeup of this artifact stone prevents all light from passing through it except for waves that pull towards the upper end of the visible spectrum. It sounds clever, but I'm beginning to suspect that all this actually tells me is that it is blue. Whatever this object is really for, I can say with certainty that it is super sparkly and I want it. Ultra Seal Aquarium. The picture on this canister leads me to the conclusion that it is a fish tank. The SS Dolphin 2 said that what's inside is yummy than all, which I thought was an odd way to say that. Peace Missile. It seems unbelievable that this planet is host to no intelligent life other than Pikmin, especially when I fight artifacts such as this. What became of them? Did they know any good jokes? No. Unassuming Lighthouse. It looks like a lighthouse for small lakes or ponds. The SS Dolphin 2 protested that this can't possibly be useful, but I disagree. Pikmin are small too, but they've more than proven their worth. Exactly. Quantum Traveler. My guesses were a huge candle or a small lighthouse, but the SS Dolphin 2 says it's actually a rocket capable of navigating the universe. Then I brushed aside all my questions with super string theory. I'm not convinced. Attractive Gate. Whoever decided to build a sturdy gateway out of highly magnetic material must have had a reason. But all I know is it tugs on my helmet antenna most uncomfortably when I walk through it. Perhaps it was this magneticism that riled up the Pustock? I got it from? 2? I feel bad for fighting it. I was probably just having a bad day. Oh. The Stopped Doomsday Clock. Analysis shows that this device indicates when the world will end. I noticed it stopped though. Does that mean this world has already ended? While I pondered this, the SS Dolphin 2 told me to get back to work and get our journey. That our journey isn't over till we get back to Hocketit. It's good to be reminded that my world is still out there. The smile detector. Sometimes I look so haggard and drained when coming back from an expedition that the Pikmin keep their distance and the Desert Dolphin 2 seems wary of addressing me. Fortunately, now I have this device. All I have to do is stand in front of it and I feel the urge to smile. But on occasion, trying to force a smile tires me out and I'm back to square one. The Independence Monument. This reminds me of my son telling me that he wants to be an explorer of the cosmos just like me. It's touching that he looks up to me, but awkward too. I'm meant to be a pilot, not an explorer. Fleshy monuments. When I was in knee-high to a Pikmin, I did anything to get attention. I had to have the latest styles. I carried books around that had really long titles. This mysterious monument seems like a tribute to my younger self. Shiny on the outside, empty on the inside. It's better to be shiny on the inside. Exactly. Preservation door. According to the SS Dolphin 2, this object provides memory storage for computers, but the more that such devices remember for me, the more I'll forget everything. This idea frightens me. Fortunately, the SS Dolphin 2 is wrong about what this object is. It's a door without a knob. Now there's something useful. A family could stay safe in their house if no one could get inside. Then the computer is right. It is a storage device. It's not a door, but I think Olimar doesn't have this technology. The Sparosphere. This crystal sphere contains an object that emits dark energy. It's like shovel after shovel of bad memories being thrown in my face. Oh boy. Like when my wife scolded me and my daughter avoided me, and my dog barked at me. Ugh. Revenge fantasy. Ice climber. It seems like a type of memory storage. I don't know how to access what's inside, so I'll have to make the gas based on the artwork on the front. Appears to depict a person with a hammer leaping to strike a pale, portly creature in its red nose. One shudders to think of how the poor beast, wronged this person to provoke such ire in them. Giga whistle. Some days it's hard to feel motivated. The sound of a whistle will fix at an instant, though it certainly seems to work on the Pikmin. I wonder sometimes though, if they feel the same hard to explain anxiety that I do when I hear an unexpected whistle. It makes me worry that the presence is looking over my shoulder even when I'm at home. Oof. Rocket polish. Today I found a full tank of cleaning solution. I'll polish this Dolphin 2 until it shines. My most trusted partner doesn't deserve anything less. Postscript. Let's see, the Pikmin have already got the SS Dolphin 2 dirty again. The ship doesn't mind though. Maybe the mud is a nice change of pace after all the void of space. Berserker brush. This is the king of brushes. Hair brushes, cleaning brushes, and all other brushes tremble in its presence when angered. It vibrates with rage and let loose a high-pitched bellow. I don't know if the SS Dolphin 2 made all that up or not, but it was scary enough that I'm going to brush my teeth very carefully and head to bed. Rift Ripper. Analysis shows the gem contained in this item to be seriously hard. Our current working theory is that it is designed to be mounted on spacecraft and used to tear holes in the fabric of space-time. Unstrung rackets. I never found a tennis racket inside an indigenous creature before. It's heavy, but I can still swing it. Maybe I'll bring it back with me to teach my son to play. I'll need to do some work on it first. Yeah, if it was a tennis racket, you need to put some strings on it. The work-life imbalancer. Oh. This beach chair was designed to help people stay in constant communication with their bosses. What kind of vacation is that? I'm not sure this planet ever had intelligent life. That's a big roast. Evidence pulverizer. There are so many embarrassing memories. Calling my teacher mom, sending a mushy note to the president instead of my wife, locking myself out of the SS Dolphin 2, and on and on. Whenever those overwhelming memories make me feel like I could shrink up and disappear, I break out this thing to use as a punching bag. I feel better already. Oh, fair enough. A handy hand. I'm not sure I believe the SS Dolphin 2 that this thing has hundreds of uses. It's such a bizarre metal hand on a stick. But my son calls his favorite snack his medicine, so it's all in how you look at things, I guess. Same thing. Hairy serpent fossil. This reminds me of a serpentine creature with the hair still intact. My wife always cautioned me against letting my hair end up like the president's. Caring for what you have keeps it from fleeing. Well, that's very nice to say it. The Greedosphere. This crystal sphere contains an object that emits energy that will awaken one's greed. It seems to have no effect on me, however. I fear what would happen if it came anywhere near the president of our company. You're the treasure of this planet. Twisty Pick. My daughter spends half her time insisting she should be treated like an adult, and the other half clamoring to be treated like a kid, usually when she wants a new toy. Typically, I always treat her like one when she wants to be treated like the other. I feel like this artifact represents that relationship. A constant spiral. Never quite reaching full mutual understanding. Yep. The Conformity Enhancers. Each type of Pikmin is unique. Some love heights, some thrive in high heat, but they all have their special qualities. Compared to them, I seem very bland and unremarkable. Yes, Dolphin 2 informs me that I am also unique, having crash-landed unusually often for a veteran pilot. As soon as I find some paint, I'm going to make the ship look as drab as I feel. Unexamined Nests. I recovered this from inside a giant water creature. It's a nest of some kind. I'm too nervous to see what lives in it. I don't need to analyze all of these things. It's not my job. Everyday Cell. Everyone wants to be loved by the whole world, but to do that you have to be as ordinary and dull as this small everyday thing. All I need is the love of my family who stick by me no matter who I am or what I mess up. Is that true? You need to be as bland and ordinary just so people love you? Oh, you poor celebrities. Giant rodent skull. What? My first impression was this was a vehicle of some sort, but this Dolphin 2 claims that this was once a mouse. I can almost see it. Cranial ridge, the extended jawbone. Yes, now that I think about it more, this is clearly the skull of some enormous rodent. I'm glad I can always rely on the SS Dolphin 2 to steer me right. No, it is called the mouse, that's the head, it's true about that. But it's not a skull, it's just a mouse. Grown-up cell. This might have once been a little cell, but has grown into a plump little powerhouse. Remarkable. It makes me think of growing older. Though I hope that when I'm our present age, I'm not like him at all. He's so selfish. Attention getting logo. I can't read the writing, but the shape and color of the letters are very striking. The sword and shield behind a large jagged glyph project an air of strength and confidence. A business of product could do very well with this type of logo. Maybe I should bring it back with me and show it to the company president to give him some ideas. Ah yes. Oh god, that's right. With shield and... Snack Vault. This canister looks chock full of sweet treats. Yes, this Dolphin 2 doesn't like me going near it. Does the ship actually think that I'm going to raid a canister for all that tasty scrumptiousness? How insulting. The ship might as well accuse me of wanting to eat all of the sparkling that we need to get back to Hoggetit. Cheerosphere. This crystal sphere contains an object that emits joy. As I report this, however, I doubt that it works. I miss my family back home, and I'm alone with these Pikmins are really such nice creatures, and they seem so devoted to me. I love that mysterious look that they sometimes have in their eyes. I'm the luckiest fella around. I don't trust them. Even though I use them, I don't trust them. Numerical monuments. I was wondering if it says something. If it's no, I can't turn it upside down. I read a magazine article on Hoggetit once that said the number of planets and species in the universe had been determined, but no one knew about Pikmin before me. So now I wonder if this would appear to be a monument to the supremacy of mathematics. But can pure maths really explain the universe? Or are there things, like the Pikmin, this monument doesn't account for? Not one thing can actually explain everything without us actually seeing it. If you have a device that can that can tell you how many planets or species there are in the universe, then the universe is very bland if it's always the same. And knowing it already just gets rid of all the excitement of learning something new. That's why I hate that everyone wants to show something new every time and makes everything more bland. That's a tangent. The Gigaton back. In my first week at Hogwarts Fries, the president asked me to deliver a heavy satchel. When I arrived at my destination, to my surprise, my wife was there to receive it. It was full of coins. There was a letter inside too, which read, "I thought you might like a bonus. Treat yourself to something nice." It was when I vowed to always stand by the president, no matter what. So the president can be nice. Interesting. Manifested time container. I knew that light could be a particle, but the advanced technology of this civilization has broken time into particles as well. I don't know how the science of it works, and frankly I don't care. It's so soothing to stare at the flow of time all day long, seeing and feeling it slip away from me. Dutiful watchdog. This fossilized dog looks ready to attack. I bet it was a great watchdog. My dog Bulby never budges, even when people visit. One friend of mine mistook him for a stuffed animal. Poor Bulby. Inevitable tragedy. Oh boy. The man this chronicle is presumably about is a very tragic figure. He seems to be simultaneously running up against a brick wall, falling to a fiery death, and menaced by a sort of reddish white wriggling Laura. With so many insurmountable obstacles on all sides, he can't be long for this world. May you have better luck in the next life, my mustachioed friends. If only... if only people would think like him. Value bands. As I stare at his gem's crisp edges and pleasing gleam, I muse what it must have represented to its original owner. A business gift? A type of currency? A precious heirloom? Its reddish color reminds me of love, so it might have been a token of affection. Then again, some Pikmin are rad, so it could be important to them. They can't tell me, so I'll never know. Royal Sweet. Once I got to my daughter's birthday party late. She took the presents, told me the party was over already, and that I'd have to make it up for her tomorrow. I ended up buying her a second cake and gift. I got the feeling I was more upset with myself than she was. After all, she did get 2 birthday presents out of it. If only I could have given her this. Maybe I'd have been off the hook. Well-loved Gage. What does it say? Can't read it. Today I explored a cave covered in sparkling crystals, but I noticed they didn't radiate any kind of energy. There must be no connection between their appearance and sparklium. Most of the objects we find that radiate sparklium seem sentimental in nature. Maybe a better name for it will be sentimentium. It's a nice idea anyway. Sentimentium would be a better name for it, yeah. One-way time machine. This machine lets you skip forward directly to the time of your choosing. It sounds familiar. Did we have anything like it on Hogwarts? I should set my alarm and get some sleep. Maybe I'll remember it this morning. I'll remember in the morning. Wow. The metal bagel. Oh yeah. Bagels are always nice when they're chewy, but I crack my teeth on this metal treat. Besides, whoever left this behind scraped off all of the poppy seeds. People can be so mean. Private castle. It's shaped like a castle for one. Even without a courtyard or servants, a castle is still a castle. Only the greatest and most powerful people have them. After all, I want one. Yeah. Sentencing is not that great in this one I'm reading. What a strange weapon this is. It helps repair, not destroy, things. Simply hurl it into the right part of an object and twist it until the thing is fixed. If only all weapons were like this. We'd wage peace, not war. But peace does not bring in the money, war does. Lopsided barbell. This exercise equipment is missing the weight from one of its ends, which makes it unfit for fitness. Each half of a pair is important to help things stay in balance. Just like my dear wife helps keep me in track so often. Maybe I should choose this barbell anyway. It'd be nice to be fit as I can be when I return home to her. Cute. Whisper broadcaster. This device is used to beam one's deepest secrets to trusted friends. Used incorrectly though, it would allow one to share gossip with everyone all the time. It really seems like the worst feature ever. Yet, it is one of the most sought out features in this world. Metamorphosis tank. I once dreamed of being a movie star, known for all sorts of roles. But really, I already play many roles. Hawkeye Flight employee, husband, father, and one of my best days, master to my dog. Wow. Lifeform prototype. This prototype for a robotic form resists attempts by the SS Dolphin 2 to read its mind. Maybe when we get it back to Hawkeye, we'll have better luck at getting at the secrets of this technological wonder. Is it resistor? What the fuck do you mean? Or maybe that's a terrible idea. What if it's cleverer than we are? Oh, now I'm going to have bad dreams. I think I'll just take the sparklium and try not to think about it. Ooh. Almighty Ruiner. Our president is a titan of business who can cause a lot of havoc. But even he is nothing compared to this device. It crushes, bends, cuts, and pulverizes. A flexible weapon of destruction. I must say it awes me. Bond impressor. My daughter caught a snake once and was so thrilled, but my wife and son hated it. I promised I'd let it go, but secretly I helped to keep it in the garage. That was when we forged a bond that fastened us together. Oh. They both love creatures, it seems. Champion belt. The 1-2 punch of the electric spectralist's flurry of attacks and the crested Mokiwi's intrusion was a hard fight. But with the help of the yellow Pikmin, I knocked him out. I am now wearing the artifact I found afterwards. It's similar in shape and design to the belts worn by combat sports champions in my youth. This belt tells the world I vanquished a mighty foe. It keeps my charges up too, which is nice. Silence breaker. I am a quiet man. I don't like too much fuss. But sometimes I get the urge to change that about myself. I went to an office party where they had these and tried one, and it wasn't so bad. Where I went wrong was bringing one home with me. I waited for my wife to surprise her with it, and well, suffice to say, it wasn't the only earful I got that night. Sonic Relaxant. The sounds in the state play in an soothing order, which helps me get some rest when the chirping of the Pikmin or the strange noises from outside prevent me from sleeping. Chop, 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 chop. Pikmin noises. Distinguished speaker. SS Dolphin 2 went on and on about how this device could go on and on. If I had the power for it, I'd lock the two of them in a room together and hold a debate. Wait, would this thing still work? I don't think so. Inspiration signal. My son was drawing pictures of me, but after he finished each one, he would crumble it up and throw it away. I thought they were very well done, but he never seemed satisfied. All at once his eyes lit up and he drew one that showed me with a bushy mop of hair on top of my head. It wasn't accurate, but he seemed to like it better. Truth to tell, so did I. Quid pro quo, yo. No one is truly self-efficient. We all put in our work and get paid in return. I do my job, and in return, I get money and keep my family fed. That's how it works for everyone, even the presidents. The Pikmin are looking at me like they want something. Oh, so they help you, so you need to give them something. That's, yeah. Since we don't really have an onion, they can't really fornicate, which is the bit of a problem. Missed connection. A rather impinded like me spends a lot of his life in space. I want to go home to be with my family and my dog, but there are times when my trip home is unavoidably delayed. My wife doesn't mind, fortunately. Take however long you need to, she always says. I'm perfectly fine here on my own. She's very supportive, in her own way. Olimar, don't you have the... I don't feel like your wife is hiding something. Zappy safe. This is clearly a high security safe that contains a massive pile of money. Got a huge shock when I tried twisting its 2 dials. And no, I didn't do it to grab the cash. It was all in the interest of science. It's a battery. Why is there money in it, huh? Concentrated nostalgia? Corned beef. I'm not sure what this contains, but I think it's 100% pure nostalgia in compressed form. The animal in the picture seems to long for bygone days, while looking forward to better days. I truly understand how it feels. After all, I think often of the nice times I've spent with my family back home on Hockett's. Though I'm sure that many are still ahead of us. Ominous Vault. This is Dolphin 2 claims it's a harmless washing machine with a timer feature, but I think it looks more dangerous and sinister than that. The giant dial, those impenetrable walls. Whatever they locked in this vault, they never wanted to come back out again. I hope Yes Dolphin 2 is right and I'm worrying over nothing. Slimmerized cell. The subject has lots of energy in a slim shape. When I saw it, I blurted out how much it reminded me of being little. Ugh. I wish that I hadn't. Yes, Dolphin overheard me and laughed. But it's no joke. I really would like more pep in my step. Just like I had when I was a tot. And now I'm really hungry. Just from recording all of this. Probable teapot. This seemed like a stately monument, but then I cracked open its lid and I caught a whiff of... What? It was very fleeting. Maybe tea? My theory is that it's a teapot with 2 handles. No spot and no tea. Tricky one. Maybe he smelled the copper. Could be. King's Sanctum. What was this 200? This was an extra majestic room. This was an extra majestic room that an ancient king once lived in. What a fancy way to keep out of the world. But the SS Dolphin 2 said that it's the same thing in a cage. It's a cage. I need to burst my bubble. Personal odor shields. I recognized this before the SS Dolphin 2 told me what it was. My wife and I used to wear something very similar in our noses when we would change our son's nappies. I wonder what this world smells like. My suit's helmet isolates me from the atmosphere here as a precaution, so I have no idea. Does it smell nice? Or will I need one of these? And the poison things, you will need one of these. Nostalgic buckler. I know, because the SS Dolphin 2 keeps insisting that this is a skill from an aquatic life form indigenous to this planet. But what it really reminds me of is the shield I used to imagine carrying when I was a young boy playing fantasy make-believe. So that's what I've officially registered it as. It's real now! Deal with it! Menacing Crusher. You find this object in a place with very heavy rainfall. Some flying jellyfish and bloated frogs trying to stop us from picking it up. Do these creatures have an affinity for sparklium? Maybe it's not the sparklium, but something else about this large crushing object that stirred such hostility in the indigenous creatures. Altitudinal unlimiter. Throwing winged Pikmin put a spring in my step, so I was very excited to find this device to make me jump higher. I hopped on immediately and have no regrets. Apart from the pain in my back. Alien ceremony. Oh, what is this? Balloon fight. Part of this scene depicted on this chronicle is familiar to anyone. 3 champions, having finished well at their chosen sports, take their places to receive their just rewards. What I don't understand is who they were or what they were competing in. They seem to have large bulbous eyes like some of the creatures here. Even stranger, the 3rd prize winner is missing for some unguessable reason. Oh, it's not that. Abandoned husk. It looks like an indigenous creature, but it's empty. I've seen soul-like things leaving the bodies of other creatures. This empty shell once has a soul too? Did other objects we found also have these souls? Where do they go? Who decides which creatures have them? Do I have one? I'd better get some sleep. I'm running on empty. The primitive saw. This crude saw has seen a lot of use. Its blade is almost completely worn out. I've cut down my share of indigenous life on this planet. And though I didn't have a choice, I'm feeling worn out myself. Museum quality egg. I bet this is an artistic work made by an artist. I can't see inside, but I'm sure whatever it's filled with will turn the surface meaning on its head. That's how art usually goes. Moose slicer. Yes, this Dolphin 2 tells me that this crafting device lets you cut things whenever you feel like it. So what if you don't feel like cutting things but have to anyway? Does it still work? Vacated baby buggy. I can easily see why this baby buggy was vacated by its previous occupant. It's filthy! Oh yeah. Analysis of the residue left behind leaves me the hypothesis that the erstwhile owner was a carbon-based life form. Ooh. Smart boy. Tiny jumbo jet. I'm not easily surprised, but this one bowled me over. The passenger seating proves that this planet was host to people smaller than I am. I must be very careful while I work from now on. No, it's the opposite. It's probably a clothing rack or something. Deluxe something or other. At first I thought this was an antenna. One that was really powerful. Then I thought it was a bathtub built for maximum luxury. Then Yesus Dolphin Do chirped up and said I was just seeing what I wanted to see. And it was a monument of some sort. Still, a monument of what? Or to what? A drawn arm of loneliness. After a few false starts, we identified this as a humanoid robot's left arm. It seems lonely unattached to the rest of its body. I wonder if my wife gets lonely when I'm not around too. Instant planetarium, another kalimba. Our senses indicate that this machine can turn any room into a planetarium. If that's true, maybe it can recreate the blue skies of Hakatet. I know that's not what a planetarium is for, but still. You could try. Unbelievable spinner. My daughter gently shook me awake. In the other room, my wife was cooking a homemade breakfast. My son did his schoolwork between bites. Bobby fetched the paper. Welcome, Pikmin. Oh. It was just a very strange dream. I was wondering, the Pikmin. They're controlling everyone now. Oh no. Swords as wands. I can feel the eldritch power in this tool meant to remove obstacles by the force of the user's will. It's fearsome to think about. I'd rather find a wand that would let me peek into people's hearts. He rather wants a keyblade other than a wand, Kingdom Hearts fan, I see. Self-reflection engine. When I'm tired from exploring or from listening to the SS Dolphin 2, I close my eyes and remember Hakatet. Or just let my thoughts wander. Or try to empty my mind entirely. It's relaxing. But sometimes I still feel restless. And at those times I look at the Pikmin. They don't need to understand or worry about anything to enjoy life. That's a lesson I could stand to learn. True. Extended hand of friendship. There's turned out to be a humanoid robot's right arm. Mrs. Dolphin 2 asked, Am I doing my part as your right hand, Captain Olimar? I had to think about this. Mrs. Dolphin 2 may be a loudmouth, but wouldn't have made it this far without it. It's as much as my friend as a Pikmin are. But how to tell that without it getting a swelled head? Yeah. Fly Smacker. Its wide frame and solid construction make it perfect for smacking down pesky flies. Oh, is an abundance of this tool the reason I haven't seen any normal sized flies on this planet? No, it's a key. The flies are the normal size, just baby size. This is Donkey Kong's country or whatever. Enduring partnership and House of Gold. Retrieving this object from its perch amid blazing fire was especially tricky. I almost sweated through my suit. And a couple of the SS Dolphin 2 circuit boards were nearly fried. Later, the SS Dolphin 2 told me that it never doubted we'd pull through because we made such a good team. That seemed out of character for it. Could it have been inspired by the teamwork shown on the object? Inspired by Donkey Kong? Nice. Creativity Simulator. This prototype artificial sun rarely emits more light than a candle. It's a nice thought, but whatever on this planet invented it clearly had a long way to go with the idea. The Pikmin are quite the inventors in their own right. They can turn anything into a toy. The other day I saw them amusing themselves by taking turns whacking this object with sticks. They see it as a piñata. Shimmering skull. Excuse me? Most bones look alike, but this was clearly a handsome man's skull. You can tell by the way it shines. I think the SS Dolphin 2 is reading too much into the sparkling it emits. And this is just a random crystal skull. Indiana Jones is needed for that. Scoreless dartboard. Darts was one of many things I tried to impress women when I was young. I got pretty good, and hit the bullseye on my wife's heart. Unlike darts, love never ends. You have to keep playing. Wow. Deep. Scallop spring. The clickety-clack sound this makes when a Pikmin jump on it sets my heart dancing. I also like the color if it was an animal. I believe it will make a good pet. Stoic head. The SS Dolphin 2 says this is a robot's head. I tried to initiate a conversation. If I can activate it, the Dolphin 2 explained later, maybe it will love me. This is Dolphin 2. Love is not so simple. Sunset projector. Is the SS Dolphin 2 right? Is this really an artificial sun? Whatever made this must have been quite advanced. Even if it does only manage to the intensity of the sunset. Actually, I think the brightness is as intended. The sunset is a nice thing to settle for. It's the promise of hope for another day. Even if today wasn't so great. Like I always think it's an artificial sun, well it's just light. But it's true, yeah, in a way. Frozen stranger. It's uncertain what this object is, but the SS Dolphin 2 claims that this is a monster caught in a bubble. Who was imprisoned for scaring naughty children? Oh my god. But my own assessment is that that's nonsense. Clearly it's a veteran space traveler whose escape pod put him into cryogenic suspension until the end of time. I'll go with SS Dolphin 2's explanation, thank you. Scoot over, bench. According to SS Dolphin 2, this is the head of an oversized musical instrument. But I did enough sitting around to know a bench when I see one. It's the perfect size for a couple. Not only that, but the sides are angled in a way that helps shy lovebirds along by sliding them closer together. I see why. One here, one there, zoop. Then love has been made on it too. Fondosphere. This crystal sphere contains an object that emits an energy that makes affection grow. I don't need it at all because I always love my family more the farther away I am. Oh, not done yet. Oh no, does it mean that the closer I get to home, the more my love for my family will fade? I'd better ask the president to let me buy this at a discount. Humor implant. When SS Dolphin 2 saw these, it begged me to fit it out with them, so it could learn how to be funny. I thought the idea that it could wear them all and all was already a good joke. Oh, correct. Herbivore molars. What a find! This should rock the field of xenoarchaeology to its core. Everyone thinks of dinosaurs as vicious predators, but these teeth clearly indicate a plant-eating creature. SS Dolphin 2 has no record of this species, so that means I discovered it. That means they'll name it after me in the textbooks. Right? The Olomosaurus? No, the Olomoceratops. No, wait. No, it's just a pearl necklace. Or armbands. Bracelets. The real magic. Thanks to the Pikmin and the SS Dolphin 2, we have a huge reserve of sparkling to fuel our ship home. But when you get down to it, wasn't the real fuel the friends I made along the way? He really is a Kingdom Hearts fan, doesn't he? Rarely seen cell. This curious energy cell was in a crystal cave. I'm glad that the winged Pikmin were there to help me get it. Now I return to Hogwarts, I may write a book to show my gratitude. I'll title it Olimar's Outlandish Adventure. Can we read that book, please? Getaway vehicle. Alright, so we're at the ice sector. I've seen no end of danger since arriving on this planet. Dark caves, searing flames, poison pools, that kind of thing. But none of it has set my heart racing like the giant snowball chasing me today. Only one thing was on my mind as I ran. Faster! More intensity! My pilot's pride was stirred, I tell you. Zoo of the future. This device is the future of zoos. The animal inside has been put into suspended animation. Oh, observe the graceful creature, caught mid-prance. As for the zoo, I think that 20 Pikmin would fit in there comfortably. You wanna take 20 Pikmin with you? Unremarkable spinner. My daughter jumped on the bed, woke me up. My wife warmed up breakfast in a microwave. My son was glued to the TV when I walked by, and Bulby made a mess of my shoes. Pikmin! Help! Oh, it was just a realistic dream. Oh, the other one was one that was never gonna happen, but the other one was realistic. Okay. Beneficial intelligence. I'm finding many electronic parts in this planet. While analyzing this one, the SS Dolphin 2's demeanor was actually more pleasant than usual. And then I realized his ship wasn't talking to me at all. It was conversing with this object, which seems to have had a very good effect on the SS Dolphin 2. It's usually so disagreeable. I sneezed. Empty routine screen. There's very little to do on this planet. I amuse myself by pretending to be a Pikmin by climbing up into the onion or burying myself into the dirt. It certainly breaks the monotony, but I'm glad no one is around to see me. Automatic fortune teller. Whenever my wife has a problem, she consults her fortune. They say things like, when things are abundant, you must prepare for the lean times. I'm still trying to figure out how I knew I was getting a pay cut. Dual wheeler. This must be a two-wheel vehicle, or half of a four-wheeled one. It does remind me of riding alone with my dear wife, just the two of us, singing a song, happy together, just like being with Pikmin. These are glasses. Flauntulant bauble. Its yellow sheen screams quality, or at least expensive. Someone definitely spent a lot of money on this ship part. Putting this on the SS Dolphin 2 will make it extremely classy. Even sitting in the most brilliant ship in space won't make it run better, or make me a more skilled pilot. What's on the inside counts more than good looks. That's why I always wear fresh undies. Star-beaten jewel. We believe that this has beaten into its uniquely shape by a meteor shower. Come to think of it, meteor showers are the reason I crash-landed here to find it. Maybe that's what they mean about destiny being in the stars. More literal than I had always imagined, but I can't deny they've shaped both this object and my life in unexpected ways. Parting tape. When two people part, the one leaving gives the other one end of this tape. Both hold on as the distance between them increases. The one lying behind spools it back up to listen to the message. It's all very romantic and dramatic. Not at all like leaving a message on the answering machine telling my wife I'll be home later than expected, which was only anticlimactic. Classical sculpture. This majestic statue reminds me a good deal of my wife. Calm, elegant, solemn, and capable of great kindness. What in the world would a woman like that see in me anyway? Oh, poor Omar. Thoroughbred statue. What a striking silhouette. I hope I can be noteworthy enough someday that someone sculpts a statue of me. That sounds unlikely, now that I say it out loud, but a man should have his dreams. True. Tandem sword. This ancient weapon required two soldiers to operate it. They would maneuver it around an enemy and run swiftly towards each other to bring the deadly blades together, or just open and snip. Sure. Stuck compass. Sometimes when I take the Pikmin exploring, one or two don't come back. Even when I whistle for them, if it still worked, this could be just a thing to help them with their sense of direction. I took it apart to try and get it working, but after hours of fiddling, I have to admit I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never felt so lost. Why are you even fiddling with it to begin with? Authoritative obelisk. The metal plating really adds to the sense of authority this stone gives off. In fact, it's trying a little too hard. Put on as good a show as you want. If you can't back it up, you're nothing. Wait, what am I talking about again? Let me read. Plating. Authority stone gives off. It's trying a little too hard. Yeah, you have authority, but you can't back up with proof that you can be authoritative. Yeah, guess that's the thing. Tempting vision. Super Mario Land? If the image on this storage medium is anything to go by, there's quite an exciting story contained inside. Giant octopi, fire-breathing dogs. Oh, and is that a hug-headed spaceship I see in the upper left? Oh, the Yes Dolphin 2 has corrected my mistake. The spaceship is not. It assures me a hug-headed design. You must be seeing what I want to see after being away from home for so long. Teeny power plant. How did they shrink a gigantic power plant down to such a tiny size? What a feat of engineering. It reminds me of my first date with my wife. When I ran low on talk, she kept up the chit-chat. We've been going strong ever since. Tangerine paste. Wonderful news! I found a tube filled with tangerines, my favorite fruit. Compressed into a juicy paste. It only got a taste before the SS Dolphin. It too hastily told me it wasn't food. Funny, it didn't smell like paint to me. Ever night shadows. When we looked through these windows, the bright sky turned to dark nights, causing the Pikmin to cry out in fear. Maybe it was that there weren't any stars in the sky. Scary indeed. Training rocket. It looks like someone built a tribute to the small training ships they give you in a piloting school. Mine was past its prime and had engine trouble, but I wouldn't have traded it for anything. Adversity builds character. Yeah, a bishop, I guess. Distortion chamber. As I entered this metal structure, I was greeted with the image of myself as slender as a blade of grass. Perhaps this curious technology could be used to create carnival attractions back on Hocketed. Who knows? Single seesaw. Before, to build your leg muscles on a seesaw, you really needed a trainer or a partner. But with this spring-loaded device, you can tone those trunks all on your own. It's so revolutionary that it might be worth braving the bureaucracy to patent it with and get back to Hocketed. So long as I don't need any sign-off from the president, of course. Starship bones. The SS Dolphin 2 seemed reluctant to talk about this for some reason. My theory is a spaceship skeleton. I dropped the subject so as not to make the SS Dolphin 2 uncomfortable. Sunset engine. What would I be doing right now if I hadn't crash landed here? Would I be better off on Hocketed than on this planet today? Am I missed? Is it really so important that I get back home? When I get lost in thoughts like these, I watch the Pikmin risking their lives to help and feel foolish. I have to focus on getting home, if for no other reason than to give their hard work a purpose. The apotheosis of balance. I've always been careful when it comes to balance. Work and life, dinner and dessert. If you don't give each side its due, everything falls apart. But even I've never achieved a balance as perfect as this big ball mounted on a giant hammer. If I could get on top of it and stand on one foot for an hour, would I achieve enlightenment? That's what they say. Ornamental cycle. I returned to the landing site after today's exploration and found a Pikmin clearing weeds and stones. Their diligence is a constant surprise. Maybe I'm just a good leader. Anyway, I found this object that looks like a useless bicycle. Throw it on the sparkling pile, I suppose.